Good morning, everyone. It is Taco Tuesday, March 2nd here, and this is a look at your watch list for today. So what do I have on tap for today? Well, the markets are starting out here. You can see we're a little bit red. Not a ton, but just enough that we might want to be a little more cautious. But if you look at I'm going to flip over here. You can see from lows, we've really taken some, this is a 5 minute from just this morning. We've taken some very nice steps up off the lows. We came up, we took a little rest, we came up, we took a little rest, and we're just continuing to climb here. We'll see if that continues on into the open. And so this is the SPY, not the diamonds or the Dow. That would be here. Here we go. It too moving along, just a smidge of a pullback below where we were yesterday, so still a bit red, but overall still looking pretty good here for a climb up. Better than yesterday in that yesterday we closed over 600 points, which is great, but we had so much of a move before the market opened. If it was a little bit harder trying to find those that weren't maybe starting to stall out or whatever. So anyway, not a ton of data coming out today. We do have a couple of Fed speakers scheduled. Brainerd and Daly will be speaking this afternoon. But as far as the calendar overall, we have crude data this afternoon after the close, and we have Red Book sales this morning before the open. So just a few things, nothing crazy. Okay, yesterday I entered Draftkings. No, I did not. Whoa, okay, hold on. I tried to enter Draftkings. That one got rejected. I still have it on my list over here, though. But I'm going to come right back to this today here. So this is the first one on my list for today is Draftkings. Look at this. We have this longer-term trend line, and we kind of played right around this trend line here yesterday. And we pulled back below it, and that's where I tried to get in. Tried to adjust my order a couple times. Didn't want to chase it, and then, of course, it ran up and closed. High of day. So what I want to do on this one is come right back into watching it here this morning. And Penn, watch Penn alongside of it. They tend to be very, very similar. And, they help each other move up. The 70 strike is where I very much like it. Now we're sitting right at 69 now. So April 16th, 70 strike. Those are the ones that I really like. And was trying to get in here before it punched and closed high above that. But take a look at DraftKings and take a look at Penn alongside that. I entered Uber, though, here later in the day. Uber, nice reversal. We touched the 8 and pulled back just a little bit, but came right back and closed right along the previous resistance. We're also sitting right at the 50. This morning we're sitting at 55.02, so I'm looking for a punch above that 50, and there's also a monthly pivot sitting here at 55.45, 55.50, right in that area. So pivot points are, think of them not as a fine line, but as a little bit of a crayon going through, so there's always a few cents different, maybe between platforms. I use mine on E-Trade, so that's where I get my numbers from, and they are the traditional pivots. They are not the exponential. There's a bunch of different ones, and they're all great. Just remember that whichever ones you use those all the time, so that you're not switching back and forth between pivots and kind of mess you up there. But I just like the traditional ones. So, okay. Anyway, Uber, that is the one I am in. Beautiful move here yesterday. The reason I got into it, so I just want to recap why I'm in it because I didn't do a video on it last night. Here we go. So yesterday we opened up, had a quick pull back, but that didn't last very long. Set in our opening range, and then we sat in here very quiet all day, and then we started pushing up. We came out of it, but we still closed within that range, started building some volume to the top side. Really, really beautiful. It's also why I liked DraftKings yesterday. This one took off out of the gate and then used the top of that range as a beautiful, like, little trampoline, just trying to jump up and off of it. And this is when I was trying to get into it, and it just didn't happen. But beautiful chart. I know some of you did get into it. Great job. And watch for continuation on DraftKings or Penn. Penn's another good one. So we're sitting at 69 right now on DraftKings. And some pretty good volume in it already this morning. We're close to 100,000 traded. So, okay, so those are just a couple. And the one that I am in Uber. Okay, next, Snap. So we were kind of looking through some charts late in the day, and someone pointed out that Snap's doing well. It hit a couple of the scanners, and the 3 came back very nicely to the 8 here. We've stayed in these are longer term trend lines, and look at that, we're really testing it. This one is beautiful. I really like Snap here with some continuation just to get above that line, above that that trend line. We are a little bit red here this morning on it. It's 66.51 is where it's sitting right now, so it's still sitting within the body of this candle. So just looking to test it. I think the first target on this would be 69.50, so that's a nice little move, $3 move there. I'm watching the April 16th 70 calls on Snap. Want it to move above that trend line. Billy. So another one that we found late in the day. Look at this trend line, not a long-term trend line, but coming back up. We crossed with continuation here. The 3 did cross over the 8, but it's below the 20. I prefer that cross to be up above the 20. Not going to be super picky here, though, if we continue on with some good volume. We had, kind of just average volume yesterday in it. So we want to see that buyers come back in, bigger money comes back in, holds the top of this candle and pushes along here in Billy. I'm going to be watching the 416 145s on those. TJX. The overall retail has been doing pretty well. Had a lot of earnings out, and most of them looking pretty good overall. So just looking at some of those retail spaces, Nike's been great. Under Armour, a lot of Macy's was doing pretty well. So a lot of these doing pretty well. Just overall retail sector. Looking for a move here though above this 3,820. See how they're all really close in here. The 3 a little bit further down, but the 8 and the 20 right here. Looking for just a move above that. Really like it above the 68 mark. On TJX, I would be watching the 416 70s are the ones I like on TJX. But this one really has to prove itself. It didn't have a ton of volume yesterday, so really looking for volume to come in and push the candle up that shows more conviction in the purchases there. So that is what I'm going to be watching. A little bit longer, Rocket Mortgage. Interest rates have ticked up a little bit, and last week it freaked the market out. So we had quite the pullback overall. But look at Rocket Mortgage here. On Friday, it came out after earnings, pulled back in, but look at yesterday. We came right back in, middle of the candle, pushed it up very nicely. Look at that volume in Rocket Mortgage. Really like it. And now we're coming across the top. A lot of these candles that could be resistance with a lot of room now to move up. It's a newer issue, so we don't have a ton of history on it. But we've just kind of done this up and down, up and down, up and down. But we did make, we had this little tick down here. But overall, our price action has been, inching up a little bit here. Not very much, but just enough. I like Rocket Mortgage, pushing these out a little bit more. The June 18th 30s there on Rocket Mortgage. Zoom reported last night and is doing very well here this morning. I like this off of an opening range. There we go. It had great news. It's pulled off just a little bit off of the highs from last night, but this looks to gap up at the open. Just beautiful move. So keep an eye on Zoom video, and their outlook was very good, which is helping push it along. I exited XLF yesterday, and we're getting a little bit of, let's try that one more time. I exited XLF yesterday before the close there for, 50-some%. I don't remember exactly what it was. I have to actually go back and figure out the percentage, but It was a nice exit there on XLF. And now looking out. So I'm going to be looking out to the June calls on XLF. I still like the financials moving forward. We're just a little bit red on XLF this morning. And if you're still in it, you should be green. You should be sitting really close to where you were yesterday. At the close, it's sitting at 33.32 at the moment. But now I'm going to be looking out longer on this chart, looking out to June. June calls, probably the 35s or the 40s, but I will let you know on that. Might look to go ahead and see if I can get back in those today. Okay, that is it for me here this morning. I hope you have a fantastic day. It is Taco Tuesday, so maybe you'll have some tacos or maybe you'll have some tequila. Hey, it all sounds good to me. Have a great day. I will talk to you soon.